Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We got another great show here for you today. We got our good friend Mike Iuliano. Is that right, Mike?
You got it like a third right.
Oh, that's fair. Well, over the course of the year, maybe we'll get it. Anyways, today we're going to be talking SPX. Which is basically the market. We're going to be talking Pfizer. We're going to be talking a little bit of NIO. We took some profits on a trade today. Market's in a bit of a turmoil because of the Georgia Senate elections tomorrow. If it goes Democrat, people think it's going to go down because the Democrats are going to raise taxes and break up tech companies. That's what we're looking at. And yeah, so basically the market is trading in a trend right now, but we're going to let Mikey here show us what's going on. And I guess before we start, Mike does have his course coming up in 2 weeks. So if you guys are interested, we're going to post everything down below and you guys can check that out and check out his trading group on Facebook. 3,500 members?
We're almost at 4,000 there. Yeah, I've got
Almost
quite a few
4,000.
members there, so it's a nice little audience there, yeah.
Awesome. All right, good. Let's get into some charts.
Happy New Year, first of all. I mean, we starting off the year with a profit here, so that's pretty good.
Starting off the year with a profit, yes, is always good.
We both cashed out on NIO today, so we made some money.
Cheers.
Right? Cheers, yeah. And you're going to do a nice little video on that?
So as soon as we're done this, I'm going to do a video that's going to come out on Wednesday, 6/15. If you guys want to track the profits I made on my NIO trade, when I entered, when I exited, and my percentage return and all that fun stuff. And I'm going to compare buying calls to if I had just bought the stock and which one was better or which one would have worked out better or which one did. So.
Yeah, no, that's good. And maybe in the future we can do a follow-up because I'm looking to re-enter NIO, so could be a good month for NIO. We'll see.
Could be.
Okay, so you want to get right into the charts?
Yeah, let's get right into the chart.
So we'll go over the S&P first. So this is zooming way back to the summer, and then here we have the election, which was really choppy, and we kind of expected that. And since then, we've gone up since then. But you can see here we have a big red candle today, right? So that's what's all over CNBC on my TV right now. And I mean, it's a lot of red and a lot of fear all of a sudden, which is, it's funny because, you know, everyone's been kind of a little bit afraid throughout this whole rally. Everyone's been afraid of this rally as it's been forming, but now they're really afraid because those big red candles always seem to scare people. So the one thing that I'll draw out here is, let me just do this here. So we're going to do a parallel channel here. Okay, so across the top here, we have an area there, and I'm going to just draw it out to the downside here. And I'm going to stretch it back out here, just like that. So you could see that we've been traveling in this channel. This is actually something I've started using on TradingView recently, Mark. I didn't show you this one, but on the side here, there's a portion there where it lets you chop parallel channels. So you know that it's perfectly drawn. So when I zoom in here, you could see that what happened was after the election, which was this day right here, we went into a shot upwards. And then since then, we've gone into this channel. And as you could see, we've kind of bounced around in that channel. And for people that don't do charting, they might think, holy crap, how does this, you know, how do you find this? Because it looks weird to see something nicely moving there. This is just what traders use a lot. I mean, this is something that's built into the tradingview.com. And obviously you have to have the right intuition and your eyes have to see this to draw it. But essentially we're moving within this channel. Do you notice how this red candle filled the upper and lower boundary, the whole channel? That's why people are scared of it, and rightly so. And tomorrow they're going to be making a decision on the Georgia Senate race, and we'll probably find out when the market's done closing. We'll see. And people are expecting that if it goes to the Democrats' favor, that potentially will drop and that will come down because, you know, Democrats might end up controlling the Senate and they can more easily raise taxes and do other things. So there's people that are fearing that. So right now, I mean, if we get the Senate decision going in the favor of the Republicans tomorrow, I feel that we're going to go right back up towards the top of this channel possibly, right? Well, we might just continue into this bull run into January. Otherwise, I mean, this could soften and dip a little bit. Not that it would crash, but it could easily drop towards this 50-day moving average, or potentially there's another level over here that maybe we're going to come across towards there. I think it's more likely that we just do a small drop personally.
Mhm.
But you never really know how someone's going to interpret some of those political things, right? So you never say never. I'm going to watch the chart. I'm going to be patient with it if it starts dropping, and I'm going to see how it reacts when it comes to this level, and to see if it tries to grab support or not off that 50-day moving average.
Because
Okay?
if it breaks that 3600 level or something like that, right around there,
Yeah, right around there.
then you might have it falling down to like 3250.
It's possible, right? Because I mean, the thing is, if I zoom out here, do I really think it's going to come this low? This is where it fell during the election time. I think
Mhm.
that's overkill. I don't see, like, during the election, I get it. We dropped down this much because no one knew who the president would be or exactly what would happen. I mean, raising taxes is not a good thing, obviously, but I
Well,
don't.
raising corporate taxes means there's going to be smaller profit, less dividend payouts,
Right,
um,
right.
and less money to reinvest in the company for
Yeah,
growth. That's
exactly.
why. I mean, yeah, that's why it hurts stock prices, because the stock price today is a future value on that company.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know where it might land between these two areas here exactly, but I just feel like it would be an overreaction if it went down this low. If that happens, that's fine. That means I think stocks will be on sale. I mean,
Yeah.
if we come all the way down here, then the RSI will probably come down towards 30. It'll be way, way oversold in my opinion if we come down that much. So I mean, if it does drop that much, that's fine. We'll watch the chart to see when it turns around, and I'm just going to kind of be patiently watching it. If that happens, I'm going to convert into some cash positions maybe tomorrow.
Well,
So
because that's a 10% move, right?
it's a huge move, right?
Yeah,
So
and you can see we're 2% today. I mean, that's 5 of these days, and I mean,
yeah,
it's nothing like when we were back in February, March, but you know,
and you could see the RSI fell to a certain level on these two drops during the election, right? It fell to around this level here, around
yeah.
35. It's very likely we'll fall to that same level. I don't know that we'll reach 30 on the RSI, to be honest with you. We'll probably go towards this 35-40 region and then turn around.
Mhm.
That's what I'm expecting. So let's see what happens here. But that's the current setup. And like I said, if that Georgia Senate race goes in the favor of Republicans, I feel that we'll stay in that channel possibly like for a little while longer, because the whole fear is based on that Georgia Senate race right now, I believe.
Yeah, so
So
upward trending channel.
yeah, I mean, this is a breakout. Like this is the level that it reached in September before the breakdown of the election. You know, we're way above that now. We're well above that. So for us to fall below that, let me actually just draw this, Mark. Let me
Yep,
draw
that's a good
trend
idea.
line here. So see this trend line here? Remember I drew that X here?
Yep.
That's actually the support from the peak, the all-time high from September 1st here, okay? We should not drop below that unless something weird happens right now, such as the Georgia Senate race. So I think if the Georgia Senate race goes in our favor, that this could be the bottom as a short term. And then if the Georgia Senate race goes the wrong way, maybe we break that, you
Yeah,
know?
and by the way, we're apolitical on this. Obviously, we're Canadians. It makes no difference whether it's Democrat or Republican. We're just talking from a pure stock standpoint that, if they go ahead and raise taxes, then again, there's less profit. Um, we can argue whether that's good or bad or whatever. Yet,
Yeah,
we're just doing a technical analysis on this. So we are not promoting political
yeah.
parties in any way, shape, or form. Okay, just
In
thought I'd
in
put that in there.
No, in general, I mean, we have no choice but to talk about politics because they influence our investments. But I'm impartial. I'm not, I'm not going to be a Joe Biden fan or a Trump fan. I'm just judging what's going on.
Yeah, and then basically we're watching this, and then we will make our investment decisions based on what happens,
Yeah.
and we'll make money no matter what.
Well, the other thing to point out too is that, like, I mean, there's a lot of people that are bullish on Tesla right now. We've entered a square position recently. They're all contained in the S&P. If this rolls over, I mean, you better believe that Tesla is going to roll over too. So I think people should be very mindful of this. And a lot of times people are just watching their Tesla chart or their square chart, and they're not really watching what the S&P is doing. they are part of the S&P. You better believe if the S&P starts dropping, that the stocks contained within it will not do very well.
Yeah.
So that's something to be mindful. Be aware of what your market's doing, not just your stock.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of that, let's bust out PFE. I know that a lot of people are asking why Pfizer is still going down.
Okay.
Obviously, the you know they have the vaccine, one of the vaccines that is currently approved, one of the three, at least in North
Mhm.
America and Europe. So, obviously, day of the peak, or the day of the announcement that they got approved,
Mhm.
shot up.
Yeah, that was
CEO
probably
sold a
around
bunch of
here.
it. Yeah, CEO sold a bunch of it, and then went ahead, and now it's back in that $36 mark. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are asking, well, what is it a buy?
Well, so here's the thing. I remember when we did our last video here, I'll just zoom in a little closer here. When we did our last video, I think it was somewhere up and around here.
Yep.
Okay, when we talked about it. And so it's come down since then. Okay. But I remember when we even did that video, I said, we're currently dropping to retest. I mean, it had not bottomed out yet or anything like that. I think this is part of the drop and retest at the moment. So because it shot up so much, people forget this. When something shoots up that much, that's a huge move. Okay, so let me get my ruler out here. Okay, so I'll measure the move here. It went up almost 30% on that rally. Okay, so people tend to think when something's going up, it's going to go up forever. The drop we just had is pretty normal after that run up we just had. That's not that big of a deal. It probably corrected 50% or 61.8%. That's the Fibonacci retracement levels. And when we're looking at it, if I zoom out now, let me go further out. Okay, so this is the big downtrend that was in place when they didn't have a vaccine yet. Okay, this is going back to 2018, 2019 is over here. Okay, so when I do that, if I draw my downtrend line here, what I'm seeing here is that we have a trend that we've broken out of over here. Okay, so right now we're still out of that bearish trend that I'm drawing over here. If I extend this back, that's the trend that we've broken out of. We're still outside of and above that trend right now. So when I said earlier, I said we broke out and we're dropping down to retest now. This is the critical point now. So we have the 200-day moving average here. You can see the RSI is getting close to bottoming. This isn't that scary to someone that's watching the charts because you're watching these things here. Can it crash and collapse though? Sure, it could, right? I mean, maybe their vaccine has horrible side effects. Maybe another vaccine comes out with no side effects. Anything can happen, but all I'm saying is that it's pretty normal to have a really big drop after a really big, aggressive, quick rally like this. And I would call that a drop and a retest so far. So I'm not scared of it. Would I enter it right now? Not yet. Not yet. I would probably be looking, let me just take away these lines here. I'd probably be looking to judge this downtrend that's currently falling here. I'd want to see it kind of break out of this trend here first. And I'd want to see if it.
And just on that note, I might play that like I might sell puts at like the 200-day moving average, or that trend line, right? Which is
Yeah.
around $35. I mean, if they're paying okay, I haven't looked at them, but I might sell puts on that just to get in the game, just to start watching it. Sell a small amount of puts on there, like 1% of my portfolio type thing. Um,
Yeah, and I'm
yeah,
just drawing some support levels here. I mean, can this fall towards 34, 35 bucks, that recent one that I just drew here? It can, for sure, and that's why I'm still watching it. I'd like to see it actually break out of this bear trend and produce some kind of a signal for me where I feel it might be changing direction. Okay, so
yeah,
we had a bear trend back here, and when it broke out of there is when it started to go up a little bit. So I'm going to kind of let it do its thing. I'm not trying to buy the falling knife here.
yeah. I'm not either. I probably won't touch this for a while, but it is something I'm watching because I think it can move quickly when it does. And I mean, when something moves quickly, like NIO has in the last couple of days, you make some decent money on it. So, and which you'll see in the video that's coming up on Wednesday. But yeah, let's just go through a quick NIO chart, and then I think we're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that setup I just showed you, now that we go to the NIO chart, that's the same premise I used to get into NIO. So, you know, you could see on this chart here, it's already drawn because I've already done this technical analysis, but you have our downtrend that we popped above, right? And then we were all in on that trade, and we were able to catch this move up and be able to profit from it. I think if something like that happens for Pfizer, that you could be potentially catching a move. Now, it doesn't mean that we'll go to the moon, but with call options, I mean, I don't know about you, but I think I made, I don't know, 50 or 60% just in the past few trading days, right? On
And
that.
I mean, I made 35%-ish on my trades, but I mean, here's the thing. So I entered here.
Okay.
I entered here again, and then I entered here.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had 3 entry points. And yeah, I mean, I was patient. I was losing money on it, and then lo and behold, I did okay.
I just want to show you one other thing too. Do you remember when we did our last video, I was showing how we had a head and shoulders pattern for NIO? This was our last NIO video. If someone goes and rewatches it, you'll see that. It's funny that, so what happens with the head and shoulders pattern is if it breaks below here, you can expect an extension to the downside, and some people will buy puts or short something if it crosses.
Sell calls.
Sell calls. So just to point out here, we had a head and shoulders potentially in place. It's not complete till it breaks below this level. It did not do that, right? So let me get rid of all my lines here now. Watch this now. We have an inverse head and shoulders now, directly following the previous failed head and shoulders. Well, look what we just did, Mark. We just went and we went above the neckline resistance of the head and shoulders there, right? So when I'm looking at that, to me, I think this looks pretty bullish, right? We just went above this area here today. Because the market's dropping, maybe NIO will dip now, okay? Yeah. Which would be a wonderful thing. That's why I sold.
I would probably get back in.
I would get right back in because, you know, even over here on this green candle day, we broke above that level, right? That's what we did that day. So we dropped to retest and we moved higher. I say that a lot, right? Dropping to retest after the breakout. Well, now we broke out again. We might drop and retest and go higher. And you know how they say that the market is a staircase on the way up and an elevator on the way down? Well, there's your elevator, right? Yeah. And now here's your staircase, right? Yeah. So that's, I know that's oversimplifying it, but it's, you know, sometimes you don't have to complicate things either. This could drop down, take support, and go right back up. And I think that's what it might do. I think that's what
it's going to probably run up into NIO Day, right?
Exactly. And NIO Day is January 9th. Let me get my...
Yeah, Saturday.
NIO Day would be like around here, in this area here. So I think it might run up into NIO Day. You know, we'll see what happens. But they just produced more vehicles, I think 7,000 or 8,000 more than they expected. And so they're running on that, and NIO Day is coming up.
Yep.
So good. I don't know. I like the stock right now.
I do too, and I'll probably be trading that in the future here.
All right. Well, Mike, you know, thanks so much for joining us again today. I think this is obviously very informative, and it's good. And obviously, people are enjoying it. People are watching. Well, they're watching some of them, not others. I don't even know why. But yeah, so if you guys enjoy stuff like this, definitely smash the like button for Mike. Let's get Mike at least 100 likes on this video. It really does help the channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great one, everyone. Happy New Year.